Ready to begin? You already made it to our first facility, the elevator. But it's no ordinary elevator. To get to the office floor, you just, oh la la, look who it is. Thanks, Psycat. And off we go!
What up, Chooms? Welcome back to Kjun's Concerns, your one-stop dive into all the wild, exciting, and thought-provoking updates shaping the world of inZOI. Today's episode is going to be a real treat because we're covering not one, not two, but 4 concerns. Concerns 11 through 14. And trust me, each one brings its own flavor to the table. From exploring crime mechanics that let your Zois live on the edge to the revolutionary Smart Zois system powered by NVIDIA, inZOI is pushing boundaries in ways that are redefining what a life sim can be. Oh, and let's not forget the cooking system that will have us all dreaming of Zoe-made soufflés. We're turning it up another notch. This video is all about growth, both literally and figuratively. We're diving into facial capture for Zois, adopting furry friends, dramatic changes to build mode. Spoiler, we're capping those skyscrapers. And even how gas stations and fighting mechanics are getting a glow up. It's a perfect mix of the game's ambitious future and the thoughtful, often unexpected details that make inZOI feel so alive. And you know what I love most? The way these concerns connect. Every update builds on the last, creating a world that feels more cohesive and vibrant with each iteration. Whether it's a major feature or a seemingly small tweak, everything ties back to making inZOI the most immersive and personal life sim yet. So, grab your favorite snack, settle in, and let's break down concerns 11 through 14. Oh, and don't forget to stick around for my thoughts at the end. It's bittersweet, but we've got a lot to talk about. Let's go. Concern number 11. How should inZOI handle crime? Alright, this one's a biggie. Crime in inZOI. Kjun admits this topic has been a source of anxiety for the development team. Initially, the idea was to avoid provocative or violent themes altogether, aiming for a lighter, more family-friendly life sim. But as feedback poured in, the team realized that adding crime could create depth, realism, and even some unforgettable storytelling moments. So, let's explore how inZOI is tackling crime and what that means for the game's tone and creativity. The crime system, stealing and beyond. Currently, the crime system is tied to the in-development economy, where players buy and sell items using Meow, the game's currency. Naturally, this opened the door to unlawful options like stealing, currently ranked as the second worst crime in the game. I'm dying to know what number 1 is. If a criminal Zoi is caught, they'll be sent to a rabbit hole jail for up to 3 in-game days. During this time, players will need to switch households if their criminal Zoi is their only one. The devs deliberately avoided over-the-top elements like high-speed chases and helicopters, instead aiming for a more grounded system. But here's the challenge. How do you implement crime mechanics that feel meaningful without making the game overly grim or overly simplistic? My thoughts: crime, realism, and creative freedom. Honestly, I was surprised to learn that inZOI wasn't aiming for a mature rating. I initially thought the game would be like an adult version of The Sims, a life sim where you could explore raw, dramatic, and sometimes traumatic scenarios that stick with you, much like Joel from The Last of Us.
Oh no. Sarah. Move your hands, baby. I know, baby, I know. Listen to me, I know this hurts. You're gonna be okay, baby. Stay with me. I'm gonna pick you up. I know, baby, I know it hurts. Come on, baby, please. I know, baby, I know. Sarah. Baby. Don't do this to me, baby. Don't do this to me, baby. Come on. No. No. No, 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 no. Please.
or Arthur Morgan in Red Dead Redemption 2.
Life is full of pain, but there is also love and beauty.
But I still don't believe in nothing.
Be grateful that for the first time, you see your life clearly.
I guess I'm afraid. What am I gonna do now?
There is nothing to be afraid of, Mr. Morgan. Take a gamble that love exists and do a loving act.
All aboard! I shall try.
I know you will. Goodbye, Mr. Morgan.
Adding crime mechanics could elevate inZOI's realism and storytelling potential. Imagine crimes with long-term consequences that impact relationships, reputations, or even career paths. For instance, a Zoi could turn to theft out of desperation, creating moral dilemmas and emotional weight. A traumatic event like a robbery could affect a Zoi's personality or daily life, leaving players with a lasting sense of how their choices shape the world. On the other hand, a criminal Zoi could build a double life, maintaining a facade of normalcy while secretly operating in the shadows. I also think the game could push for fewer immersion-breaking elements. The idea of a Zoi having to wear clothes behind a mosaic while using the restroom feels overly censored and counterintuitive for a game striving for realism. For crime mechanics to work, inZOI needs the creative freedom to explore mature, complex scenarios, without leaning into cartoonish or overly sanitized depictions. What could crime look like in inZOI? Here are a few ideas for expanding crime mechanics while keeping them grounded. Community impact. If a crime wave hits a neighborhood, it could affect property values, the types of NPCs you encounter, or even your Zoi's safety. Moral choices offer players moral dilemmas where they can choose to report crimes, confront criminals, or even help cover them up. Minor offenses, smaller, humorous crimes, like graffiti or petty pranks, could balance the seriousness of larger crimes. Victim perspectives. Allow players to experience crime from both sides, committing a crime or being the victim, and explore how it shapes their Zoi's personality and relationships. Looking forward, Kjun's vision for inZOI is clear: a world where good and bad coexist, creating a realistic yet engaging life simulation. And while 2025 is the year of the blue snake, it's also the year inZOI takes its biggest step forward with early access. As the team works to refine these crime mechanics, it's exciting to imagine how this balance of grounded realism and creative freedom will play out. Concern number 12, Smart Zois and the power of AI. Now, let's talk about the future, because inZOI is diving headfirst into some next-level technology. As announced in partnership with NVIDIA at CES 2025, the team is exploring AI-powered Zois, or as they're calling them, Smart Zois. And trust me, this isn't just another buzzword. It's a game changer for life sims. 1. What are Smart Zois? Traditionally, NPCs in games operate on predictable, scripted behaviors. They follow rules, but they don't think for themselves. Smart Zois, on the other hand, are built using NVIDIA's Small Language Model, SLM, which gives them unique personas and the ability to perceive and respond to situations autonomously. These Zois don't just eat when they're hungry or sleep when they're tired. They form inner thoughts, react to interactions, and adapt over time. At the end of each in-game day, a Smart Zoi evaluates its actions, adjusting its behavior for the next day. This means that over time, each Zoi becomes more unique, distinct, and frankly, lifelike. 2. The potential for immersion. Here's where it gets wild. With Smart Zois, interactions feel genuinely dynamic. A Zoi might hold a grudge, admire another Zoi, or even develop personality quirks based on its experiences. Watching these Zois evolve in real time brings an unprecedented depth to the simulation. Imagine a world where your Zoi has meaningful, unscripted conversations with others, or where their behavior shifts based on how they perceive the world. This kind of immersion could redefine what life simulation games are capable of, taking them from interactive sandboxes to living, breathing worlds. My thoughts: AI and the future of life sims. I'll admit, I'm blown away by this direction. Life sims and AI feel like a perfect pairing, amplifying each other's potential to create experiences that are both realistic and unpredictable. Smart Zois have the potential to make inZOI not just a game, but a platform for emergent storytelling. That said, I can see why some players might worry about this feature detracting from the core gameplay. It's a bold move to tackle something so ambitious during early access, but I think the payoff is worth it. Even if Smart Zois launch as an experimental feature, they could set a new standard for the genre. One thing I'd love to see is how this system could tie into existing features. For example, a Smart Zoi might develop a fear of crime after witnessing a robbery. Or they could form rivalries or friendships based on unique, unscripted interactions. Over time, these behaviors could ripple outward, influencing not just their household, but the entire city. As for the performance concerns, I get it. AI like this is demanding. But with NVIDIA's partnership and the team's dedication, I'm confident they'll find ways to optimize this feature without compromising the experience. Looking ahead, while Smart Zois might not be fully polished at launch, I think the opportunity to test this feature in its early stages is incredibly exciting. It shows how inZOI is pushing boundaries, not just for this game, but for life sims as a whole. So, Chooms, what do you think? Are you ready to meet a Zoi who might just surprise you with their personality, quirks, or even grudges? Because I know I am. Concern number 13, cooking up a storm in inZOI. All right, my aspiring chefs, grab your aprons because we're diving into inZOI's cooking system. For all the foodies and grill masters out there, the dev team has been working hard to make cooking feel immersive, fun, and maybe even a little bit challenging. What's on the menu? Here's what the cooking system looks like so far. Ingredient shopping. You'll need to hit up the stores to buy ingredients for your dishes, adding a layer of realism to the process. Complex recipes. Cooking involves multiple steps, so don't expect to whip up a gourmet meal by pressing a single button. Food effects. This one's still a work in progress, but different dishes will have unique effects on your Zoi after they eat them. Maybe a spicy curry gives your Zoi a confidence boost, or a sugary dessert perks them up after a long day. Specialized utensils. From frying pans to baking trays, your Zoi will use the right tools for the job, making the process feel even more authentic. Beautiful food. Let's not forget the visuals. Even in its early stages, the food in inZOI looks downright delicious. My thoughts: adding flavor to cooking. This system already has some great bones, but there's room to spice things up, pun intended. Here are a few ideas I'd love to see. Cooking skills. Let Zois develop culinary skills over time. A beginner might burn toast, but a master chef could plate a gourmet dish that wows their guests. Cultural dishes. Incorporating regional cuisines worldwide would be a great way to celebrate diversity and make the system feel richer. Cooking challenges. Imagine hosting a cook-off with other Zois, with rewards like new recipes or kitchen upgrades. Kitchen accidents. While it's fun to succeed, failures can be just as memorable. Maybe your Zoi accidentally sets the stove on fire, or the blender sprays batter all over the walls. These little mishaps could add humor and unpredictability. Looking ahead. With early access, just over 2 months away, it's exciting to see how the cooking system is shaping up. The dev team has made it clear they'll continue to refine and expand this feature after launch, which is great news for players who want to see even more depth and variety in the kitchen. Alright, let's talk about concern number 14. This week, Kjun dropped a mixed bag of updates that somehow feel groundbreaking and personal. We've got facial capture tech to bring your Zois to life, pets that add warmth to the world, capped skyscrapers, and even revamped fighting mechanics to settle Zoi rivalries in style. It's a balance of big ideas and thoughtful details that remind us why inZOI is something special. Let's break it all down. Facial capture to create a Zoi. Let's kick things off with some cutting-edge tech. After showing off inZOI's live facial capture and AI-assisted 3D printer, many of you asked, why not use these tools to create custom Zoi faces? Well, the devs are on it. While it's still early in development, the team is working on a feature inspired by build mode's iterative customization, aiming to make the Create a Zoi process faster and more intuitive. This addition is perfect for a game that already gives you so much control over your world. It also complements the canvas rules we've seen before, which ensure creators are recognized for their contributions. Now, even crafting Zois feels like a collaborative art form. Interactions with animals. Animal lovers, rejoice. One of the most popular requests has been the ability to adopt strays as pets, and while it won't make it to early access, pet adoption is officially in the works. Post-launch, you'll be able to bring these furry friends into your Zoi's life. Fun fact: the cats in inZOI were inspired by the real strays Kjun meets on his walks. That personal touch? It's what makes this game feel so heartfelt. This is a natural evolution of the crime system from Concern 11, where animals were part of city life but lacked meaningful interaction. With pet adoption, inZOI takes another step toward creating a vibrant, emotionally engaging world. Whether you're adopting a dog or befriending a street cat, this feature adds warmth and depth to your Zoi's story. Limited floors in build mode. Alright, here's a bittersweet update. After much internal debate, the devs have decided to cap build mode at 30 floors. While unlimited floors sounded amazing, the technical challenges were too steep. But hey, 30 floors? That's still skyscraper territory. Here's where it gets interesting. This decision ties directly to canvas concerns from earlier updates. Just like building with unlimited floors could lead to performance issues, giving players too much freedom without limits could result in a subpar experience. Striking this balance between creativity and performance shows the devs' commitment to a smooth, engaging gameplay experience. On the bright side, 30 floors are still enough to build a skyscraper that would make even Tony Stark jealous. And honestly, this feels like a fair compromise to keep the game running smoothly. Tutorial for new players. For life sim veterans, jumping into inZOI might feel like second nature. But for newcomers, the game's complexity could be a little overwhelming. That's why the devs are crafting a friendly, comprehensive tutorial to guide new players while leaving room for discovery. This ties beautifully to the canvas updates and Smart Zois from Concern 12. Just as the AI-driven Zois adapt and grow, this tutorial ensures players can learn and evolve alongside their Zois. It's all about creating a welcoming, dynamic environment for everyone. Gas stations. Okay, let's talk gas stations, because why not? While not essential to gameplay, they're a fun addition that adds more personality to the city. You might not actually fill up your car, but you'll be able to visit convenience stores or use the bathrooms while you pretend to refuel. Fun cultural tidbit: in Korea, gas stations typically don't have convenience stores, unlike many Western countries. The devs are finding ways to make these locations engaging, even if they're more for flavor than function. This feature feels like an extension of the interactive world building from Concern 10, where every little detail adds to the game's immersive feel. Even seemingly insignificant touches like this make inZOI's city feel alive and full of character. Fighting mechanics. Finally, let's address the slaps. While slapping might work for comedic effect, it doesn't quite capture the drama of a proper fight. The devs are introducing new motions and a stat-based system to determine the winner of fights, adding depth and unpredictability to your Zoi's interactions. Whether it's a heated argument or a full-blown rivalry, these updates will open up new storytelling possibilities. This revamp feels like a natural progression from the crime mechanics in Concern 11, where Zois could steal or commit minor infractions. By adding more nuanced conflict resolution, inZOI deepens the stakes and makes every interaction more meaningful. It's another step toward creating a world that's as vibrant and dynamic as the players themselves. And that's a wrap, chooms. From high-tech facial capture to adopting pets, building skyscrapers, 30 floors worth, and diving into revamped fighting mechanics, this round of Kjun's concerns was all about balance, heart, and attention to detail. I've got to say, I love the holistic approach the devs are taking here. They're addressing everything from game-defining systems to seemingly small details like gas stations, and it all comes together to make inZOI's world feel truly alive. Whether it's Smart Zois adapting over time, the evolving canvas rules, or the layered crime system, everything in inZOI feels interconnected, like a living, breathing ecosystem. It's the kind of attention to detail that sets this game apart. Now, for the bittersweet news, Kjun's concerns will be on a short break next week as the team takes some well-deserved time off for Korea's national holiday. We won't see updates for a bit, and let's be honest, that's going to feel like forever. But when we come back, I'm sure the devs will have even more exciting news to share. Before we go, Kjun has a favor to ask. The dev team has been working tirelessly, and he wants to surprise them with a meaningful gift. So here's the question. What's the most thoughtful gift you've ever received? Or what would you recommend? Drop your ideas in the comments, and let's make this surprise unforgettable. If you're as hyped as I am, hit that like button, share your thoughts below, and don't forget to subscribe for more inZOI deep dives. Until next time, stay sharp, stay creative, and keep gaming AFK.
Well, that wraps it up for me. Please follow your new supervisor, Psycat, to create your own amazing story. Good luck, everyone! Oh.